have anything. Hello. My audio is doing like the weirdest thing ever. Can you all hear me? I don't even know. Hello again. Hello again. I don't know. I'm having in my ears, it's like super, super cutting in and out, and it sounds like it's almost in slow motion. It's like beep, 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 when I'm hitting like the audio sound button. Did this fix it? I don't know. There we go. Okay, audio seems to be working. Okay. You hear a sexy voice? Hello. Okay. So we've got audio. Jazza, hello, welcome. Oh man, 88 hatch Honda Civic. Mind you, I had a 91 hatch Honda Civic. So 88 is a little bit older than what I had. But I had a 91 hatch Civic, and it was the charcoal gray color, but it was the base model. It wasn't anything fancy, but man, was I ever proud of that car. And then I had a 2003 Honda Civic SI, and that one I really loved. It was like a brighter blue color, kind of like this fan here. It was like this color. Totaled both of them. And now I've got a 2019 Civic. I'm really hoping I don't total this one. I really hope I don't total this one. Oh man, you had an Integra. Oh man, Integras were my favorite. I always dreamed of having an Integra, but I wanted one of the later ones that they had with like the 2 circle headlights. Oh, loved those. Okay, sound is working. Minecraft, please work. We have Minecraft sound. We have my voice. I think we're good. Go to the camera with the gameplay. We have no gameplay. OBS. Projector. There. What is an Integra? It was a type of Honda. Acura was the brand. So it's really hard to know what brands they go under, because Europe has the exact same cars as us, branded completely differently by a totally different company at times. But like here we have Honda and we have Acura. So Honda and Acura are the exact same company, but Acura was like their high-end line. So nowadays all their Acuras like automatically come with leather interior. They come like with the air conditioning and stuff, like the dual zone climate and stuff, whereas the Hondas can still come with like cloth interior and like with one temperature for the whole car. So back in the day, the Acura Integra was like a sporty Honda Civic style car, but it was like their sports car. I want to say that the Integra, was that closer to the Accord? I don't know, but the Integra was like their sports car. It was really, really popular, especially amongst like younger adults that were into the whole car racing thing. I loved that car. That was one of the cars that I wanted so bad growing up. That one, and I really, really liked the Toyota. People say it differently depending on where you're from. I always was told that it was Celica, but I've heard Celica. But that one was another one that I really, really liked. Yeah, Acura is the Honda, the fancier Honda. Although lately Acura hasn't had as much. What are you doing, step bro? Brian, thank you for the applause. I appreciate that. Is that an applause or is that a wave? I think it's an applause. But yeah, Acura hasn't really had the same pedigree as Honda, even though they're the same company. Whenever I sold cars, the Acura was always troublesome for a lot of people, which is weird because Hondas are known to like run to the ground, which is why I went with a Civic. Okay, we have sound. Okay, we're good. We're good. I hear the wow. I don't know what it was. Oh, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. I don't know what the wow was, but thank you. Oh, Isaiah followed. I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. Toby, I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling a little bit distracted today, which is nice. I've had a bit of a rough time, and so don't. I don't like that noise. I don't know what it was. I hope it didn't. Okay, everything seems to be working. Automatically, I hear that little noise and I think something went wrong. 2 platforms? Oh, you're on 2 platforms. I was like, what's on 2 platforms? What 2 platforms did I do? Anyways, okay. I think we're good. My mouse is... Having 2 wireless mice side by side, they interfere with each other. It's really weird. Yes, so I'm playing Minecraft. As far as how I'm doing okay. You know, I'm a little bit distracted because we were having some major... Yeah. The gameplay audio stopped working. Why? Why did the gameplay stop? What's going on here? A voice meter? Are you... It seems like a voice meter crashed again. Let's uncrash voice meter. Let's plug it in again. Yeah, Christian, I think I messed up one of the settings in YouTube. Nope. It was my other PC. Oh no, my sound might crash again, folks. Yeah, the other voice meter crashed. Hold off. Let's see if it crashes. Okay. My audio is still okay. Please, 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 please don't crash everything. Please don't crash everything. Please don't crash everything. Please, please. Okay. No crashing. Camera still moving? Yeah, camera still moving. Okay. And this one? Okay. My main PC is having like major issues. I have a feeling that my hard drive is dying on my streaming PC and that's what's causing the issues. It's also filled to the brim and I didn't realize that, so that might also be causing the issues. Watching on 3 platforms. Christian, you are wild. You're wild. But yes, so much panic. Anyways, I think YouTube is messed up right now. I think I might have set something incorrectly. Let me just check real quick. Did I set something wrong? Is that what happened? Maybe? I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, so I'm live here. Oh, it changed the settings on YouTube in general. Damn it. Oh well. That's fine. I don't care. Can I switch the input lag though? Like, I'm already almost an hour and a half into the stream and I haven't done anything. I've just been wasting time. Just been wasting, oh no, an hour into the stream. An hour, not an hour and a half, just an hour. Is it under settings maybe? No. I guess I can't change it once I'm live. Yeah, it looks like I can't change it once I'm live. There's a setting on the stream that you can change to change how long the delay is between my stream and how long it takes for YouTube to show it. But I think it automatically set to like low latency and not ultra low. So low latency is, I think it's something like a 10-second delay, but I'm also using Restream, which adds another 3 or 4 second delay. So we're looking at almost like a 20-second delay on YouTube versus what it would be on Twitch. And even then it's way shorter on TikTok. It should be, because TikTok should be almost direct. It's a little bit frustrating when things go wrong because all the settings that I set up are out the window, but it is what it is. Anyways, I am just gonna be mindlessly doing stuff. So I've been playing this for quite a few hours. I'm quite a few hours into this world. You've been chatting. Yes, keep chatting. Chat away. 30 seconds for YouTube. Yeah. Oh man, I want friggin' Chinese food so bad. So anyways, I've been into this world for a while. I actually have a whole base with some farms and, you know, an excessive amount of food. I've got a whole villager farm. But I haven't beaten the Ender Dragon. Mainly because I started playing this again just for the time waster. It wasn't really for like beating the game. I just wanted something to do. And so I started to play this And I was working at building my house and everything, and I got to the point where like all that was left for me to do was to fight the Ender Dragon, fight the Wither, and fight the new guy that they announced in the caves. And so I was getting ready to fight the Ender Dragon, but all my stuff was really, really damaged. So my I built or my blaze farm, so that way I could level up and stuff. So now I'm just in the process of kind of building things, building the house, just kind of something really minimal, right? Like I'm not doing anything that's super crazy right now, just to kind of waste some time, you know? Did the sound cut out again? Oh my god. The audio, the gameplay audio cut out again. You can hear me now, right? Yeah. It's my main PC. It's my main PC. Damn it. This stream is seriously turning into just tech issues. Okay, and it's voice meter banana constantly crashing. So let me do one thing real quick. Settings. Stop. No, that's not it. I'm gonna try one thing. Because yeah, I've got a terabyte SSD in my computer, but I've only got 50 gigs free right now. So maybe if I uninstall a couple of things, maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help. Stuff that I'm not really doing. Like, yeah, this I don't need. A friend of mine asked me to install a specific game, Call of Duty. You all know how I feel about Call of Duty. He asked me to install it so we could play together, and then I installed it, and then like a few days later he ghosted me, and we haven't talked ever since. So I had that blasphemous garbage installed on my computer for nothing. So let's delete that. I'm deleting Elden Ring, not from my gaming PC, but from my streaming PC. Maybe having a bit of extra space might help. Little Nightmares can go. I tried to, why didn't that? Oh, because it's streaming from my other PC. That's okay. Okay, so those are gone. Has anybody ever played Pixel Rift in VR? It's one of the VR games that's been out for a while. Okay, I just deleted some stuff. How much space do I have now? I have 150 gigs. Okay. Please, can you work okay now? Voice meter banana. That's where the whole problem's lying right now. My voice meter banana is freezing everything up. Okay. Gameplay sound is back. Let's hope that this doesn't continue to be a problem for me. I'll keep an eye out as much as I can. I haven't tried Deep Rock Galactic. No, what is that? And we win. So if you have VR, I don't know if you do, but in VR, Pixel Rift is this really cool game. It made a lot of waves. It's been out for a long time. There's Pixel Rift 1986, I think is the one, and then the other one's Pixel Rift 1995. Basically, it's a VR of like a bedroom or a living room, and you're playing video games, and it's old-fashioned video games. So the first one is based on like Nintendo and Game Boy style games, and then the second one is based more on like Super Nintendo era. They're working on one right now that's going to be Atari based, but basically it like puts you in the shoes of a little kid playing video games, and there's like a story involved with it. So the first one, you're like bored in school and you're playing video games, and your character is actually the character in the video game, and the character in the video game can like possess the little kid to help them defeat the evil bad guy. And then the game does cool things, like you're playing on like a little Game Boy in the middle of class, and you have to like shoot spitballs at a student to distract the teacher so you can play, so you don't get caught playing the video game. And then the next one is like you're sitting in your living room playing a video game, and then you go to the arcade and play the video game. So it's really cool because you're like in this VR bedroom playing the game, but you're still playing like a flat screen game in front of you. It's really, really fun. It's an older game, but it's so fun, and it's a cool mix of like old school graphics and new school graphics. It's cool. I really like it. It's fun. If you do have VR, I highly suggest people to try it because it's such a fun game. Huh. That's cool, Brian. That's cool. Is it an RPG, or is it like a tower defense style game? Okay. Audio's still working, so for right now, my plan in the game is to just empty out this space, because obviously I'm built in a jungle, but you know, there's a lot of shadow in here, which leads to a lot of mobs spawning and causing me headaches as I get destroyed. You'll have to forgive my rough gameplay. Like I said, I play this a lot. Come on. I play this a lot in VR. I'll plug it back in. It's just easier that way. And in VR, it's great, but the problem is that the controls are so different. And so I'm not really used to using a mouse and keyboard with this. I'm almost always either use my controller when I'm playing like on a tablet, or I'm using my VR headset, which the buttons are completely different on the VR headset. So I'm kind of struggling. Plus I'm using the Razer Tartarus, which is also a weird keyboard to use. So my buttons are all messed up. I didn't think this ahead enough to set it up properly. So you'll have to forgive my super jank playing. I'm only slightly jank at this. Play with up to 3 people. Huh. Cool. That's cool. That's fun. Is it a newer game or is it an older game? That's not the one that inspired Minecraft, is it? I know there was a mining game that inspired Minecraft that was like, but I think that was a competitive game. It wasn't exactly like a team-based game. I haven't played FNAF in VR. I tried the original FNAF when it first came out, when it was like really viral, and it was at a time where I wasn't really streaming. Was I streaming at all? I don't think I was streaming at all at the time, but it was, because it was all jump scares, it wasn't something I was interested in. Screw you. Okay, it's back though. That was weird. My camera's still working? Yeah, camera's still working. Gotta keep an eye out every time. Why does it keep doing that? Why do you keep going doo-doo-doo? Stop scaring me. Anyways, I was playing it, like, I know I was playing it by myself, and so, like, the jump scares weren't something I was interested in, because I was like, this is dumb. I don't want to be jump scared. I want, like, a scary game that's not just relying on jump scares. That being said, now that I'm a streamer, I do want to check it out, and I want to specifically check out the VR version, because I think it would be a lot of fun to do FNAF in VR. I think it would be really fun. I just haven't gotten it yet. Yeah, Windows is the complete jump scare today. 100%. 100%. It's so frustrating. Tech issues, man. Tech issues. It sucks. I gotta buy a hard drive for this computer and reinstall everything. I gotta do a clean install on both computers, because right now, if you saw in the window, I have Doctor Who as my background. It's not my background. That's Alana's background. I like Doctor Who. I don't like Doctor Who that much. So it's her background. There's a few of her files on this computer and stuff, so I gotta do a complete install of this. Oh crap. Oh no, run. No, don't creep. Don't sneak. Okay. How do I shoot? Oh, I don't have any arrows. I don't have any arrows. Okay, we're good. Let's set this up real quick because I'm not used to these buttons. Keyboard. Where's sneak? I don't want sneak. I want run. Sprint this. Sneak this. Where's jump? Jump. I don't want space. I want left. Okay. There we go. So, oh, there's a second VR FNAF coming out. Oh, that's cool. I gotta play the first one then. It was on sale a little while ago, and I regret not buying it. But it was the time that I didn't have any cash, so I couldn't do it. Whoa, what the hell? Oh, get out of here. So, anyways, what I was saying is, I gotta do a full like, stop it. I gotta do a full install, like a fresh install on both computers. Because I also have games on both computers right now, which is also another headache because depending on what I want to play, I have to remember what computer to turn on to do it. I just haven't gotten around to it because I know that I'm going to be taking this whole system apart in the next couple of months. And so when I do that, I'm going to do a full install of everything. But I 100% have to get on top of that. And for Beat Saber, oh man, Deadlocks, hello, nice to see you. How are you? Welcome. The jump scares are needed today. They are. They're not needed because the computer's providing them for free. But for Beat Saber, that game is really fun. It's awesome because there's a lot of custom-made songs out there. I don't play it on stream. One, because VR is a huge headache to do on stream. Two, my room isn't really set up for VR streaming. I'm hoping to get that set up in the next setup that I have because I've got this giant green curtain that right now I use to divide the living room. And so my plan would be to set that curtain up properly so I can have like a big green screen area. So if I do VR, I can have my whole body on camera and still be keyed out. So it's just my little body standing there. My body is ready. So I definitely want to do VR stuff. I'm just not prepared for it. So that's why I don't play it on stream. But that being said, I also don't really play a lot of Beat Saber because some of you may know, I don't really listen to music. Computer, seriously. And because I don't listen to music, a lot of the custom-made songs that are out there, I don't recognize. And so for me, it's not as exciting to play the game with songs that I don't know. Like, it's just whatever to me. You know, and because I don't know the song, and a lot of the custom-made songs they're made by average people, right? And so they're not always perfect. That sometimes they're a little bit janky. Because obviously some people are making it just as a passion project. They're not musicians. They're not very particular on, like, getting the accuracy 100%. And so, like, I get frustrated because, like, I don't know the song, so I'm not attached to it. And then it's got a few issues with it, so then I just really don't enjoy doing it. But all that negativity aside, Beat Saber is an incredibly fun game, and it's a really fun way to get like some cardio in. It's a really great game. It's really fun. Kermit, hello. Are you competing in the GCSE? I don't know what the GCSE is. I'm assuming it's an esports competition. Are you competing in it? Oh man, Giovanni, you have no idea. I struggle between going from Jack to Giovanni. A VR can be insanely addictive. If you find a game that really hooks you, VR can be out of this world addictive. Like, in this world, I've spent, I don't know, I'm gonna say like between 20 and 30 hours building this specific world. Out of the 20 or 30, let's go 20 just to be a little bit conservative. Out of the 20 hours, I'm gonna say 17 of them have been in VR. like fully emitted in VR. I don't even think it's been 17. I think it's been way more than that, because even just building my nether boat thing was like a 6-hour job. And that's after I had built my farms and everything. But let's say 20 hours. Out of the 20 hours, 17 or 18 of them have been strictly in VR. There were a few hours where I wasn't in VR, but it was like I was sitting on the couch and it was mindless stuff where I was like trying to level something up, or when I was working on my stupid villagers, I built a villager farm, but the villager farm was one of those ones where like they're all librarians, and I was using a sticky piston to make them sell exactly the books that I wanted. So it was like hours and hours of just triggering the piston and seeing what they were selling, triggering the piston, seeing what they were selling. But VR can be out of this world addicting. Half-Life Alyx is one of the best games ever that I've played. And the fact that it's in VR is so much more powerful when it comes to that. You use it only for VR chat. I've never gotten into VR chat. I'm not very good with social interactions. And VR chat, I know, can have a lot of like trolly people in there. Not like, they're not trolling you to like the way people look at trolls now, where trolls are literally looking to cause harm. Like, it's just people goofing off. But because I'm not good with social interactions, I just don't want to deal with trolls. So I haven't really done the VR chat thing. But I hear it's really, really fun. I've spent most of my time in VR playing this, playing Half-Life Alyx. I did Subnautica in VR. That was really janky, but it was so worth it. That game was, that's the game that made me fall in love with VR. I've always been obsessed with VR since I was a kid. I tried VR at a theme park when I was a kid, and ever since then, my dream was to do VR. And so when these new, actual working VR headsets came out, I was definitely on board. Like, I'm going to be getting a PSVR 2. Like, even if it's going to be discontinued after a year because Sony obviously is not doing well with it, I still want to get it. And so I knew I liked it, but it was still one of those, like, it's a fun, goofy thing, but I don't necessarily need it. Kind of like 3D was. Anything I could play in 3D, I would, but I knew it wasn't a necessity. But when I played Subnautica in VR, I knew I was hooked. Like, Subnautica in VR was one of the best experiences I ever had in VR. It was so good. It was so good. Ryan, hello, nice to see you. How are things, man? I hope you're doing okay. The brave land of chaos and debauchery. I love it. I love it. I hope you're doing well, Ryan. I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, Buns, the 8 gigs has definitely caused some issues, but I've found that it kind of turns into one of those situations where it depends on the kind of gamer you are. There's this new thing that Gen Z has kind of fallen into, and it's partially a propaganda thing, and there's this conversation that's been all over my For You page lately of a lot of millennials talking about how boomers can't use computers, and Gen Z are kind of down the same line. They don't know how to use computers as well as millennials do, and there's a whole conversation about that. And it started off kind of as like people poking fun, and it was actually Gen Z that was poking fun at it. But then they started asking, like, why do you think that is? And a bunch of millennials started to talk about it. And long story short, this isn't what the conversation is about that I'm trying to get to right now. But like, long story short is just the way that computers have evolved. When we were growing up, computers were brand new, so they weren't exactly user friendly. And so we had to learn to use them. And because we were kids, we grew up deciphering things. Like, I grew up on DOS. Like, I learned some really basic DOS language to get things done. I learned, it's nothing fancy, but I learned how to copy files over. I knew how to delete files. I knew how to access folders and be able to figure out what was in there. I knew to do all that stuff. And so I learned the more in-depth way that things worked. So when it became user-friendly, I knew what it was doing behind the scenes. So it made sense for me to be able to kind of connect how things worked. Whereas like Gen Z has now grown up with the user-friendly version, so they don't really understand what's going on behind the scenes. So that all to allude to that in gaming spheres, Gen Z has been convinced that frames per second is like the most important dictator of how well a game runs. And so a lot of like the what they consider to be good quality is based just on resolution and frame rate, and like that's where they stick. And so when it comes to VRAM, texture is a big component of absorbing RAM. But for a lot of older gamers, 60 frames a second is more than enough. 244 frames a second, 144, whatever the 240 or whatever it is, 144, it's not exactly the goal for a lot of us. A lot of us don't really care about that level of I don't remember what my inventory button is. Is it this? Nope. What's my inventory button? Don't care about that. Like, I'm happy with 60 frames. And so the 8 gigs hasn't really, oh, it's E, okay. Hasn't really affected me in any way. The only time I ever see it become an issue for me is in Resident Evil if I try to turn everything max, which honestly the difference between like medium and ultra settings is very minimal at best when it comes to textures. Why did I open this? I need food. And then Half-Life Alyx is the only one that ever tells me that I don't have enough RAM. Outside of that, and even then I just click OK and it still runs okay. So I haven't really been kneecapped. It's not that it's false advertising, it's just that it's not, reducing the RAM usage isn't that hard to do, and it doesn't have such a huge impact on the quality of how the game looks. And because I'm not playing, CSGO, 120 hertz doesn't really matter to me. I'm happy anywhere between 30 to 60. Unless it's in VR 90. But still, it doesn't really affect me. You know what I mean? Ooh, Merle. It was before an hour. That's awesome. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. You still use DOS? Yeah, I have been on this kick that I've been wanting to play retro games. I've been really, like... I started playing, it's not really, well, to us older people, it's not really a retro game, but it's considered a retro game now. I've been playing Fear, which was a huge game for me when I was a kid. Everybody always had that whole, but can it run crisis? But I was part of the group of, but can it run Fear? What does the Fear test show? Like, how many frames are you getting on Fear? And so, like, I've been on this kick of playing like retro games. There's a few old like DOS style games that I want to play. But DOS nowadays, it's basically an emulator. So it's not really DOS unless you've got like one of those old school computers. So a lot of the stuff that was on DOS doesn't really, like, I'm talking about the command prompt, it doesn't really work anymore. And so you got to do all these like backflips just to get something to run okay. Like, I got Dino Crisis running on the PC, and that was a nightmare to get to work at a respectable way. But yeah, gaming has really evolved. Like, when I made my video talking about the Series S, and I'm not gonna argue with anybody because people are really not willing to listen to the argument behind my statement of the Series S is the issue when it comes to Xbox not being able to port things properly. And a lot of the argument that I get is, well, this PC with a far weaker graphics card can run those games perfectly fine. But they ignore all of the details of, like, frame rate is not the dictator on whether the game can run or not. It's the graphic settings, right? Like, yeah, of course, a really cheap, $250 laptop can run quite a few demanding games if you turn off every single setting and run at a 720p. But Microsoft doesn't want that for the Series S. They want, 1080p, and they want ray tracing turned on, and they want certain texture levels. And so, like, of course it's not going to be able to do it that way. Whereas on PC, you can literally run it and make it look like Minecraft for it to run. But that doesn't mean that it's running well. Because gamers of this generation have this idea that frame rate is what tells you if a game runs well or not. And there's a lot more to it than just frame rate. Because some of the games that run at 30 frames a second are some of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. But they can only run at 30 frames a second because the hardware just can't keep up. Nice, Brian. I've never played any Dungeons and Dragons RPGs. I really want to. I started with Divinity, which is like reminiscent of that style of game. I've been looking at trying Baldur's Gate on the tablet, and Neverwinter is another one that I want to try. Yeah, Giovanni. I remember those days too. Fear is dang good. Oh man. You're just looking for like fat material, Ryan. Admit it. All those sexy little dinosaurs on screen, it would be hard to resist. I know it would be. Dude, I hope you're doing okay, man. I hope you're doing okay. Buns, I don't know if you were talking to me about wanting to salute me, but hello. I don't know if you saw me say hello earlier, but yes. You just rewatched my streams? Oh, stop. I have to concentrate. It's a children's game. Jeez. No, you didn't. You didn't tell me about the satellite dish. But yeah, I was in the same boat, Giovanni. My old PC. So my very first computer was built by my uncle. I had a monitor that was green. It didn't do color. It did like Game Boy style green. And it was, my uncle built us the PC. It only had DOS, didn't have Windows. And he built us the PC, and my dad's work was throwing out a bunch of monitors, and so they gave him one of them. And it was one, he worked as a mechanic. Oh my God, I didn't even realize I was talking about my dad. Oh, these are the moments that are hard. Where like I'm talking about him and then I remember he's gone. That's, sorry. Anyways, his work was throwing away these monitors, so my dad was always one of those guys that was like friends with everybody. Like everybody, even if he talked to them once, they were a buddy of his. And so the guy at work that was getting rid of all the monitors gave my dad one, and it was green. It had burnt in symbols on screen because obviously it was a mechanic shop, so like they had the same labels all the time on screen. So we had that, and we had a couple of really basic games. Like I had Heretic, I had Doom, and there was something else that I had on there. And we had a program called Murphy's Law, and all you would do is just type in Murphy's Law, and it would just give you a Murphy's Law style quote. If you don't know what Murphy's Law is, it's like that whole, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong, that kind of thing. And so it had a bunch of quotes like that. That was my first PC. Then my dad got in touch with an old friend of his that he had gone to college with when he got his mechanics training. And that guy had started his own PC business. And so he offered to build my dad a PC. So we got a PC, and we had an Apple. It was it Apple by then? I think it was Apple by then. An Apple monitor, and it looked like an Apple iMac. But it was just a monitor, and he built my dad's other best friend a PC, and that guy just got a generic monitor. So my dad and him swapped because he had a bunch of Apple products, so he wanted the Apple monitor to go with it. And then my dad didn't care, and the screen that we got from my dad's friend was bigger. At the time, it was a massive 21-inch screen, and the one we gave him was like a 15-inch or something. Anyways, but that PC was the first one that could run like okay games. And I remember there was a game called Sin. Some of you who are older won't remember this game. It was a first-person shooter. It was actually 3D. I bought the game, and it would run at like 15 frames a second at like less than 480p. It was an insanely low resolution for it to even run. Such a long time ago. Minecraft Connected, hello. Yes, what is your question? Tortillas. Hold on, what did Ryan say? Or so I'm told. You've never watched it though, Ryan, right? You're innocent. Pentium 4 laptop I used 2015. Oh man, that makes me feel so old, Buns. I'll tell you about my first laptop. An invisible spot that I thought was just something Valve put in the map. Oh, I know that feeling. I know that feeling, Giovanni. I know that feeling. Your first PC was in the 90s? Yeah, mine too. Mine was in the 90s. So, Minecraft. I can't give you a definitive answer because there's a lot of mixed signaling that Twitch has done. For those who didn't see the message, Minecraft Connected is asking if you can get in trouble for streaming to both Twitch and YouTube. Twitch has made statements that they're okay with multi-streaming now, but one of my friends read the whole user agreement, and apparently the user agreement says that they're only okay with it if it's a funneling tool. So they were kind of referencing TikTok as what they were talking about, where like you're on TikTok and you know people aren't really going to watch a stream full term on TikTok, and that you're going to be using it to kind of push them towards your Twitch. But that apparently they only want you to use Twitch and like smaller platforms like that and not YouTube. I've also been told that they only mean it towards partners and not affiliates, meaning affiliates aren't supposed to dual stream at all. But then I've also been told that, no, that's wrong, that everything is okay, that you can stream to all the platforms. So what I would say is if you are very adamant about your affiliate designation, like if you're really worried about losing being affiliate, I wouldn't risk it for now. Because there's a chance that they could take it away. That being said, I've never heard of anybody being banned for doing it. I've never actually heard of anybody being losing their affiliate because of it, but the risk is there. I don't care about my affiliate. I think the affiliate thing is a complete scam on Twitch's part. You know, they make it like this goal for people, which it should just be the bare minimum. Like we should just be allowed to have subs and maybe like emotes. I can understand keeping that behind a certain level, but like allow us to get subs to start. Like just allow people, make sure that they stream a set amount and then just allow them to get subs. So I don't really care if I lose my affiliate, especially because, you know, Twitch steals a huge chunk of that money. I make more money when people use my donation link because Streamlabs doesn't take very much money from me. So, you know, when somebody gives me $5 for a sub, I get like $2 out of it. But if somebody gives me $5 through my jump scare thing, I think I still get like $4.50 out of it. So for me, it doesn't really matter if I lose my affiliate. So I would say if it really matters to you, maybe don't risk it. If you're okay with losing affiliate, go for it. You will have a harder time, though. This is the one drawback, and this is the one thing that I struggle with a little bit. You will have the drawback that if you are applying for like partnerships or collaborations with companies that are like looking for streamers, it's a headache to try to prove to them what your numbers are, because they will usually look at one platform. So like you look at your concurrent viewers on YouTube, and because you're splitting your base, the concurrent viewers will be lower. Like right now, I've got 12 people watching me on YouTube and Twitch combined. But if I look at, where's my Twitch? Where did my Twitch go? If I look at my Twitch right now, my Twitch shows 9 people watching me. So if I am working with Deep Silver only sees 9, even though there were 12 watching me right now on that side, and I've got 7 on TikTok. So that's 19 people watching me right now. Best scenario, some people are watching on multiple platforms, but let's say 19 is the number that you're looking at. The headache is now, how do I, like, I can't be to them. Well, you have to look at all 3 of these at the same time that I was streaming, and these are the numbers. That's one major drawback, is that they might concentrate on only one, and some like programs will have a set minimum that they will work with, and the set minimum doesn't allow you to combine the numbers. They just want you to link to the site that shows how many you have, and so that can be a problem. So that would be the one thing. It's also kind of hard to have all the chats going at once, which is really frustrating because you might miss chats. Like I'm missing right now a lot of Twitch. So it does come with a lot of drawbacks. The upside is I have people that watch me on YouTube that don't have a Twitch account or hate Twitch, and so they stopped watching me when I stopped streaming on Twitch. Started streaming on Twitch, stopped streaming on YouTube. Same in reverse. People who are on YouTube will not, or on Twitch will not watch me on YouTube. But I like people on both platforms, so that's why I'm doing both. And then TikTok's my biggest platform, so it's kind of my funnel towards the other ones. So that's kind of what I do. You know what I mean? Yeah, the chat part is rough. Like right now I'm using Restream. I have a friend who's looking at trying to create a Restream style thing that you could have all 3 chats in one. But right now I have Restream to do YouTube and Twitch, and then I've got another chat window for just TikTok. So it's a little bit hard to deal with. Minecraft Connected, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. Ryan, I'm gonna have to go there. I'm gonna have to go there because I need money. I need to get rich. I'm gonna show them my toes. I'll show them all my toes. TikTok doesn't care about multi-streaming. YouTube doesn't care about multi-streaming. The only thing with TikTok is because it's a newer platform, their streaming setup is really different. Sorry, I was just reading your older message of how long I've been doing it. TikTok streaming setup is really different. It's also really janky. A friend of mine who runs like a stream tip channel, if you're looking for stream tips, you should follow him. It's Noctwolf. He's also he works with another company, which the name escapes me right now. Crap. If you look up Noctwolf, he has a lot of like videos about them as well. It's an AI based website that does like instant replays and stuff. He does a lot of Twitch tips on there too. If you're looking for advice. Anyways, the thing with TikTok, he ran a test where he streamed using OBS, and then he streamed using TikTok's first-hand streaming platform, and you get more views using TikTok's streaming platform. I've also heard that you get more views streaming from your phone, which then makes gameplay streaming a bit more of a headache. But outside of that, TikTok doesn't really care. YouTube doesn't really care. Most platforms don't care. Twitch is the only one that refuses to listen to what streamers want. Hence the really bad payout percentages. Hence the stupid ad rules that they have. Hence them, banning people without really banning everybody that does the same thing. So Twitch is kind of, although it's the most popular platform, it's the most ridiculous platform when it comes to the way they treat their creators. You know what I mean? But I've been streaming to all 3 for about 2, maybe 3 months now. I've always streamed to just one platform. Only for the last 2 or 3 months I started doing multi-streaming, but it's because I haven't been doing streaming with any real set goal. For a long time I was very much looking at becoming a full-time content creator, and so I was only streaming to one because I really wanted to concentrate those numbers to the best of my ability. But right now I'm just streaming for the like relaxation factor of it, so I don't really care what Twitch has to say, and so I'm streaming to all 3 just so I can talk to as most of my friends as possible. You know what I mean? Merle. Oh man. $20 an hour? You guys would pay for that? Hell yeah, let's do it. I think TikTok is going to, the TikTok Live Studio, their Live Studio app, that's what I'm using right now to stream to TikTok. It's really, really intuitive, which is nice, because right now the biggest problem with TikTok is trying to get your chat and alerts and everything all in one place is really hard to do. There's a website called Tickfinity, which I use, but it's hit and miss. Sometimes the alerts are great, the chat is there, and then sometimes it would just disconnect for no reason. It wouldn't tell me. It would say it was connected, and I just wasn't getting any alerts or chat, and so I thought TikTok was dead. Then I'd look at my tablet, and there's a whole bunch of messages that I missed, and then people are gone. So their live studio is a little bit better because it's more stable. But the Live Studio is really new, so it's missing a ton of tools. Like the filters that you would like to use are all gone. It doesn't give me real options for like audio settings that I would want to use. They're really, really janky. Okay. OBS, the Stream Deck support isn't there. Like there's a bunch of stuff that's missing that makes it really hard to work with. But that being said, it is pretty idiot proof. Which is nice because you don't have to really worry about a whole bunch of other things to deal with. It's just kind of all built into the system and it's automatic, which is nice. But it's new, so it's got a lot of issues that still need to be worked out. But as far as is TikTok long term, I think TikTok is going to be very similar to like Vine and Musical.ly. It's going to be taken over by what is happening right now as we speak. Higher quality content. which, you know, I'm partially to blame for that. I've pretty much made my channel all based on using my mirrorless camera and having like perfect lighting and all that kind of stuff. So I think TikTok is gonna eventually be saturated by very high-end quality, visually quality content, and it's gonna kind of drive the average viewer away to a new platform that'll go back to being the janky handheld camera with no lighting, bad sound, and then that'll be the next big thing. It's what happened with YouTube, right? YouTube started off as an average person with their webcam, with the worst lighting possible, with no real intention except for just talking in front of the camera. And then eventually it turned into a big media company. And now Jimmy Kimmel's the one that you get the most notifications for, and not, you know, the average kid sitting in their room. So then Vine started, and then Musical.ly started, and then TikTok started. But as they got more fancy, people moved away from it. So I think the same thing's going to happen to TikTok eventually. I don't think TikTok will fully disappear. If anything, they might rebrand. But I think TikTok is just such a huge phenomena that it won't disappear. If anything, it'll just change. For streamers, I think this is a very good platform because you can do a lot of short form content. You can meet a lot of people in a really, really quick way. And right now, the biggest problem that a lot of streaming platforms have, almost every streaming platform, is their algorithm doesn't push creators. And TikTok's algorithm is incredibly powerful, so you can push a creator very easily, which is very alluring to a lot of creators. So I think that's the one thing that will give TikTok some power that'll be long-term versus something like Twitch and YouTube, which YouTube had a powerful algorithm and then they let it go. And now people can't grow as easily on YouTube as they could before. I used to have new followers every stream that found me that were just suggested. It wasn't that they, you know, got rated or whatever. It was just, I was suggested to them. Now I almost never have that happen. You know what I mean? Mooncraft. Sex Plays, how you doing? Welcome. If you have a good following on there, you're going to have a good following everywhere. I've seen a few people that have made videos. There was one kid in particular. He blocked me because he was upset that I pointed it out to him. He made a pity post that you know, he made a video saying that he was going live and it got 500 views and it was the most views he's ever had in his life, and then nobody showed up and like they don't support him and they don't love him, blah blah blah, and like was guilting anybody. But like, if you know anything about TikTok, 500 views, although it can seem like a lot, on the TikTok platform, that's nothing, right? Like, my videos don't perform well, and my average video gets 1,500 views. My okay videos get, you know, 40,000 views, and then my really decent ones get 500,000 views, and none of those are considered viral. None of those are considered a blow up video. And out of those videos, I'm averaging 6 people on TikTok right now and 13 on Twitch. Like, that's not. Those aren't huge numbers. I've got 100,000+ followers on TikTok. I've got 4,000 on both Twitch and YouTube. Like, it's not a good turnover rate. But some people think that if you get a couple of viral videos, you're set. You're going to be a famous streamer, and there's a lot more to content creation than that. It's just TikTok is a really good way to get your name in front of people. Then it's up to you to do the work to get people to actually want to transfer over to you. No sound again? Damn it. You can hear my voice though, right? I don't know what's going on. It's voice meter that keeps crashing. My camera's still moving? Yeah, camera's still moving. Harley, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody who is hanging out on TikTok, I am live on Twitch and on YouTube. If you are interested, if you do want to go over there and hang out. You know, some people prefer to watch streams on like a PC and kind of mindlessly scroll on their phone, and they don't really want to sit on TikTok on their phone watching a stream. So if you want to follow me there, feel free. I do stream 3 times a week. Right now, I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Minecraft isn't always my main thing. I have been wanting to kind of bring it into the channel schedule, but I just never have really done it. I do play games that are usually horror based. I've been playing Elden Ring, but I think I might start doing Minecraft more often because I'm really liking just chatting and wasting my time. Sound, don't. Sound. Still working. Okay. Camera, still moving. Okay. Well, Brian, I appreciate it. Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. I'm not paying attention to the game, to be fair. Yeah, and that's what I like. I get a lot of people that'll come in here and be like, stop talking and play. But with Minecraft, I'm literally, right now, I'm just tearing down trees. Like, I'm literally just, like, clearing the land. So if I talk, it's not affecting the storyline at all. I'm literally just clearing trees. So I do like that a lot. Stop playing in chat. But I think I might start putting this in the lineup because I'm really, really liking just, this would be something I would be doing on my own time. But I would be struggling to stay concentrated long enough to do it. Because I've been meaning to clear this. I've been working on this house for 2 days, and I've been meaning to clear this area for a while because I want to build farms here and stuff. But every time I start, I do like 2 or 3 trees, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. But right now, because I'm talking, I'm able to do it and not think about it. But yeah, Brian, the beauty, that's the beauty with TikTok, is that the algorithm will put somebody in front of you that you may not watch normally. And if they're playing something that kind of catches your eye, or I happen to be in the middle of a sentence and I say something that catches your eye, you're going to watch me. Whereas like Twitch, you have to specifically be looking for my game, or there has to be like, you know, a hype train or something to put me on the like suggested part of the page. But there's so many Twitch streamers that it's impossible to really stand out. Whereas TikTok, you're mindlessly scrolling. And so you're not actively looking for a stream. So you don't know what's going to be in front of you next. Whereas like on Twitch, if you're looking for a Minecraft stream, then great, you're going to find me today. But if you're not looking for Minecraft, let's say you're looking for Five Nights at Freddy's, you're not going to see me. I'm not going to exist to you. And that's one of the parts that Twitch is insanely powerful with. Or TikTok is insanely powerful with, is random people will find me. People that have never heard of me or would never otherwise have seen my channel will now run into me because the algorithm just randomly showed them who I am. Yeah. I find Minecraft is surprisingly relaxing. You know, the music is, it really is perfectly put together when it comes to the music and the sound effects and stuff. Because it can just be so relaxing while you're playing, hearing these songs. There are certain songs that play that really make me emotional because they bring me back to when I first started playing this game and I was, you know, sitting with Nora and playing with her. Like, it really, really hits me hard. And it's rare for games to do it so consistently as this one does. It is, Ryan. And none of the songs are long. None of the songs are, they're not written in any over-the-top way. You know what I mean? Like, when you think of like a Final Fantasy theme song, it's orchestrated, it's beautiful, it's complex. So like it has its beauty to kind of help it be memorable. It's how beautiful it is, or how like enticing it is, and the feeling it gives you for like a fight or whatever. But Minecraft is so just a basic piano and so overall simple, but it's complex in its simplicity, but it just sticks around for a few minutes to just give you that feeling, and then it just leaves you in silence for a while, and then it kicks in again just to kind of remind you that it's there. Like, it's so So well put together. It really is a masterclass. It really, really is. Is this game where we just chatting? Oh man. Oh my god, Merle, those moments are the worst feeling. That's what happened to me when I was looking for the stupid fortress, the Nether fortress. I was on my way there and then I died. And so I rushed back with my backup, because I always have like one backup set of armor. I put on all my backup armor and grabbed some basic weapons and then rushed all the way back. And right as I picked up my armor, I died a second time. And then I ran back, and at this point I didn't have any more backup armor. So like I had some stuff from like my mob spawner, but it was all half broken. And on my run back, I died. I didn't even make it to my armor. So at that point I was like, screw it, I give up. So then I started working on my farm and like getting my villagers set up so I could just buy all my armor from them. Spent a whole bunch of hours doing it. This is one part that I don't understand about Minecraft. Everything I've read says that your stuff stays for like, what is it, 5 minutes or 15 minutes, something like that, and then it despawns. I spent a good 10 hours working on my villagers and, you know, getting all my emeralds and mining and getting all the stuff that I needed. And then I went back to go look for the Nether fortress, just not looking for my armor anymore. And I happened to walk by the place that I lost my armor, and all of my armor was there. So now I have 3 copies of everything. But it was weird. It was weird. Yeah, Brian. Like Super Mario on the NES was another game that up until the Super Nintendo, the Mario music was so perfect for what it needed to do. Like Mario music is another one that's so good. Okay, yeah, Merle. See, and that's reading stuff online is so hard, and it's also hard because almost everything that's covered is on Java, because that's the more popular one, and I'm playing on Bedrock, and a lot of the Minecraft community looks at Bedrock as like the garbage version, but that's kind of what I started on, and that's kind of what I've stuck with, and so a lot of the information is in reference to Java, and so I never know what I'm supposed to actually be looking for, you know? Okay, so I've cleared up quite a bit. Still not perfect, but we're getting close. Should I start clearing some of this dirt out? Let's clear some of the side trees up. Yeah, both. Yeah, I bought the dual set because I was looking at Java, and it was like $5 more to get the dual. Because the reason I got Bedrock, I mentioned it a minute ago, is because we got Minecraft for Nora, and we got it on the Switch, and so that's the Bedrock version. And she was kind of commenting how she was bored because she was playing by herself. What the heck? Who are you? Get out of here. She was bored playing by herself, so I wanted to learn Minecraft so I could play with her. And so, what time is it, by the way? Okay, I've still got like half an hour. And so I learned on Bedrock so I could play with her. Then the Bedrock version comes with like the official VR version, which is not a great VR port of the game, but it runs really smoothly. And so I was playing it in VR for the fun of it. And then I got the Vivecraft, which is the Java version in VR, which is all creator based, like the players did it. And it's way more VR centric. Like you can actually swing your hand to actually hit. You have both hands to be able to hold stuff in, and you can't really do that in Java or in Bedrock. But because it's made by users, it's not super optimized. And so, you know, I've got a 3070, and it would still run sub 60 frames, and so it was really, really nauseating at times. The scale is way better, and like the immersion is way better, but the frame rate issue was kind of hard to deal with. So I was doing it on Game Pass, so when it came down to buying it, I was like, well, I'd rather buy it on Java so I could have like the proper VR now that I play by myself. But if Nora ever wants to play, I need to get Bedrock. And then I saw that it was $5 more to get both, so I was like, I'll just get both, even though I never use Java right now. But yeah, I've become a giant fan of Minecraft, which I never expected. I used to have viewers when I did a lot of Mario stuff. I used to have viewers that would beg me to play Minecraft, and I was just like, no, I'm not interested in Minecraft. Like it's I need something with a goal. I can't just mindlessly cut down trees for 2 hours. 4 years later, it's literally what my whole stream is right now. Just me cutting down trees. What's my axe like? Oh, it's still doing okay. But yeah, Minecraft is just such a well done experience. Like, it's a really well done experience, which is something that I wasn't expecting when I got into this. That's what I really liked about Subnautica. Subnautica was another really interesting experience. The VR experience wasn't great, but the gameplay itself was just so fun, and it really, really made you feel certain emotions while you were playing. Like, you really felt lonely while playing the game. It was really cool. Resident Evil Mario. Oh, man. I had such a great mix. It was perfect. It made sense. It made perfect sense. Yeah, the way the channel was, I'm probably going to lean more towards that once I start streaming a lot more. Just right now, I don't really have the ability to kind of spread the channel the way that it was before, but I'm definitely going to be going back to doing a much higher mix of stuff. Like, I want to bring Zelda back into the channel. I haven't done Zelda in a really long time. I want to bring Zelda back. I'm having fun with Minecraft on stream, so I'm probably going to be doing some Minecraft stuff on channel. You know, and I want to up the horror aspect. I haven't really had a lot of... Okay. I haven't really had a whole bunch of luck with the horror stuff that I've done on the channel, but it's because it hasn't really been consistent enough for people to hang out to really participate in the horror part of it. But that's kind of the goal. But I'll be streaming way more often, right? Like 4-hour streams 5 times a week. That's 20 hours a week. Versus right now where I'm sitting at maybe 5 hours a week that I stream, 6 hours a week if I'm lucky. So like, it's not really a feasible goal at this time, but I'm hoping that I can get there because I do miss doing all like the fun horror streams and just fun times, you know what I mean? What's Demonologist? I don't actually know that one. Gaming Dude, how you doing? Welcome. But yeah, I've been really surprised by Minecraft. Like, seriously surprised. There's a few times that I've considered like doing some Minecraft videos on the channel, but whether it's like my brain being different, or if it's because I'm old, or maybe I'm out of touch, or it could just be that the with the whole Minecraft resurgence that's happened over the last couple of years, maybe it's gonna come back into being popular, and I just happen to kind of be ahead of the curve. If I were to do Minecraft stuff, it would be like a survival style channel, right? Like playing survival and just kind of setting goals for the video and playing it. But a lot of people already do that. And the big Minecraft channels, they have a bunch of friends they play with. They like put up stories, and there's a lot of screaming involved. And I'm not really that kind of a streamer. Like, if I did any kind of Minecraft content, I'd be more akin to like Mumbo Jumbo. If anybody watches any Minecraft content, I'd be more akin to his style of content, where it's just like I'm doing now, playing and talking, and maybe doing some redstone stuff, because redstone is my favorite part of Minecraft. But I'm not very much like, but the only reason I know some of these creators is because of Nora. I'm nothing like Afmao, or like back in the day, and the only reason I know about this person is because I was watching one of those commentary channels talking about like drama, of like how Sky Does Minecraft used to be. I'm not that kind of creator, so I don't even know if it would be worth my time to do Minecraft content, but I'm enjoying it. I also wouldn't want to ruin Minecraft for myself, do you know what I mean? Turn it into a job. I like this as like a wind down type of thing. So right now the goal is just to kind of play it on stream and not really do anything else. Oh, Demon Souls. Oh man, it's happened twice. Twice where we beat the boss and then died immediately while beating the boss. Oh, that game's so much fun. Merle, redstone can be a nightmare to work with. It can be one of the worst things to work with because It's so weird, and depending on whether you're playing on Java or on Bedrock, it'll be completely different. There are certain things that Java does that Bedrock doesn't. I don't remember what it's called, but there's like a certain way that you can use redstone in Java where like it doesn't have to be connected, and there's like a certain weird thing that it does where it can work almost wirelessly, and you can't do that on Bedrock. And then there are certain things that you can do in Bedrock. Like there are things that I think you can move in Bedrock that you can't in Java. So it can be hard if you're playing both, because trying to remember what can do what can be a nightmare. But the other thing is certain things will affect redstone differently, and you'll make a mistake and it'll throw the whole machine off, and then the machine will break and then you have to rebuild it all. Or something will mess with your machine. Like redstone doesn't do it anymore, but there was a while there where redstone would be affected by the wandering villager, or the wandering guy that sells stuff. And so I would build a redstone contraption, and then he would like interfere with it and then break the redstone, and then the contraption wouldn't work anymore. Back when they had one tick farms, which are like farms that you could have things happen instantly. Like I would do kelp, and basically you would shift the sand back and forth and the kelp would just grow automatically. And so you could have the kelp grow really, really quick, and then you'd have a great bone meal farm. And then like the wandering trader, that's what it was. Wandering trader would like walk into my kelp farm and then interfere with the sand, and then the sand would change where it was, and then everything would break. And so I'd have to go and like take it all apart to rebuild it again. And so redstone can be really frustrating sometimes. Like right now, I've got this. This is my blaze farm. This is my blaze farm here, and I need to add some redstone to it, and I'm so lazy to do it. I'm so lazy to do it. Okay, gaming dude, any recommendations for affordable equipment? So we're talking equipment to start streaming? Is that what we're talking about? Or are you talking about like are you talking about the PC part of the equipment, or are you talking about like lighting, microphone, that kind of stuff? I don't know Captain Sparkles. I'll have to check out Captain Sparkles. Yeah, I'm much more of like a let's set a goal. Anyways, this is my blaze farm. Mumbo Jumbo is the one that I've learned a lot of my like redstone technique from. And so basically I built the blaze farm a little bit too small. I need to make it a bit bigger, because sometimes these guys will spawn in here, which catches me off guard if I like walk away for a second, then they start attacking me. Anyways, so what I've done is I'm using lava to kind of push them, but look what happens. They block each other, and then it's really hard for them to get in. I have to have a whole bunch of them spawn to push them in. So one of the solutions to this is to make the platform bigger. And so that way they kind of, and have it like step down. So when they fall in, there's more space for them to fall, and then they'll fall in one at a time. And then there's one point that you get in where it's a little bit bigger than this 4x4, and you add sticky pistons with pressure plates, or not sticky pistons with pressure plates, and a block in front of the sticky piston. And when the blaze lands on it, the sticky pistons would push them towards the center, so they'll fall in. So that's part of the redstone. And then the other part that I need to add is down here. So basically, when the blaze falls down there, I need to add sticky pistons to close this off so they stay. There's also a second part that you can add where the sticky piston will then push the blocks and start damaging these guys through like compressing them, and so the block damage will cause them to hurt themselves, and they'll start getting hurt. And you can actually set it up with a timer, so it'll hurt them specifically 7 times, and then it opens again, and then all I have to do is hit them once and then they die. And so it's like I need to add all that, but to do that I have to build this huge platform around here, and right now like I'm like there's no space for me to build, and it's all lava down there, so it's going to be a lot of work for me to do. And so those are the times that I have a lot of headaches. I don't have any slimes right now, so I can't really do what I want. But like that kind of redstone can be a headache to build, but once you do, it makes your life so much easier, and then you feel really, really good about it once you get it done. Yeah, the Wandering Trader is the worst. The Wandering Trader is so the worst. And then one thing that I did for... I'll answer your question in just a second, gamer dude. The one thing that I did for my old world, which I'm not playing anymore, is I built these kinds of tracks. This one isn't complete. I need to get a bunch more glass. But I built these kind of tracks to be able to travel quickly from one portal to the next. And I had built one track and it basically split in two directions, one to lead towards ice and one to lead towards sand. And so it was really frustrating. Right now I don't have it set up this way, but it was really frustrating that I would get to the split and then I had to like turn the boat to get it to go to the right direction. So what I ended up building with my redstone was actually that I could pull a lever and it would close one of the tracks, so you couldn't go that way anyway. And that way I would only go in one direction, so I wouldn't head the wrong way. And then I could flick the lever again and it would close the other track and open the first one. And so that way there was only one way I could go. And then I just put two signs that would say like towards ice, towards sand. And I would just flick it to there and I could go. And all of that done through redstone. Nothing super complex, but I felt really freaking proud where I was like, oh, I want redstone. I click this and then I would go. It took me hours to do, but it was still really the most expensive stuff to be a streamer. You don't. Honestly, if you buy one of those cheap, like Chinese knockoff Amazon $25 USB microphones, more than enough. There's a company, and I can't remember their name right now. I've worked with them, and I can't remember their name. Night Owl's worked with them a few times. And they sell, Toner is the one company I've worked with. This thing's from them, actually. And they sell really, really cheap, or budget, sorry, cheap always comes off as like bad quality. They sell really budget stuff, but like the microphone I bought from them, I don't use it anymore. But it came with like a little shock mount, which is what helps if you like hit the microphone. It like would sit in rubber bands so it wouldn't make the sound that you made by hitting the desk or hitting the microphone. It also came with this pop filter, which stops like the p sound. If I make a p sound, it's not going to pop the microphone and make it sound bad. And it was a USB microphone, and it came with the stand, not the arm, but like the stand. So like you could use that thing, and it was $30 Canadian, which is really budget for like the amount of stuff you got with it. And it sounded decent. You just had to put the right settings in, and it sounded pretty good. As far as cameras go, a webcam is fine. The C920 is like the workhorse. It's probably the best budget webcam you could get. There's better webcams now, but it's one of the best streaming webcams that you could get for a decent price. The big important thing is the lighting. If you get the right lighting in your room, a really cheap webcam can look really, really good. Did the sound stop again? Of course it did. I don't even know why I'm getting the constant tiggerung. It keeps crashing. But yeah, you could get a budget. Is my sound on yet? Okay. You could get a really budget webcam, you know, the C920, which is, it's not like dirt cheap, but it's for the price, it's really worth the money. And you put in some decent lights. Like you can get cheap ring lights. This ring light here, it cost me, I think it was $30 on Amazon. It didn't come with the stand that it's on, but it had like a little phone handle, so you could put your phone in it. It's USB, so you just plug it in and it's good to go. I've had it for a couple of years now, and it's still working fine. It has a couple of settings for like yellow and then this whitish bluish color, or like a mix of the two. And you know, it's the most basic of lights, but if you buy two of those, you can have really decent lighting with a cheap webcam and a cheap USB microphone, and it's going to be more than enough. You'll still have to invest some money, but you can also cut a lot of corners in a lot of places. Like my very first lights that I ever bought, I built myself. What I did was, I still have parts of them, they're somewhere. I went to like a a place like Home Depot, Home Hardware, whatever, a place like that, and they sell like clamp lights. It's basically, it looks like a bowl with a little light bulb in the middle of it that you can clamp to stuff. I bought a couple of those as my lights. And even before that, I had one that was like, it looked like an extension cord, and at the end it was a light socket. I had one of those. I went to the dollar store. I bought like a big plastic pot. It was about this big, that you would use outside for plants. I lined the inside with tin foil. I just kind of hot glued it on and lined the inside with tin foil. I cut a hole in the back of it, and then I hot glued the light bulb part of it inside of there. And then I bought a cheap dollar store LED light bulb. And then I bought a cheap dollar store curtain, like a shower curtain, and I hot glued that to the front of the pot. And then I just like drilled it into my wall. And then I had a really nice big studio light. It looked ugly. It wasn't something that I'd be like, look at this. Now I'd be like, look at this, to show people budget stuff. But it was like the ugliest thing in the world. And I had better lighting than most of my friends who streamed at the time. And in total, I think it cost me $10 to build it. And so it's about being creative and learning your settings. It's not about what equipment you're using. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, if you're willing to spend up to $200 in total for everything, I would definitely look on Amazon for like a cheap USB microphone. You can get them for like $25-30 with everything. A lot of them come with like the boom arm and the microphone and the cable and a little pop filter. It's just about spending the time to figure out the settings. If you put in the right filters, a really cheap microphone can sound really good. You know, and it's a good starting point. And you may not have to upgrade for a while. And then with the camera, like a C920 is fine. You could literally use a phone as a camera. There are apps out there that let you use a phone as a camera. There are some drawbacks, like with a phone, depending on how the phone is. Like I was using an old iPhone SE for a while, and the quality was out of this world compared to the C920, but the USB port that I was using couldn't charge the phone fast enough, so I'd get like an hour and a half use out of the phone before it would die, or sometimes it would overheat, and so then the phone would just shut off. Okay, there's still sound. Or the phone would just shut off after a couple of hours because it would overheat, and so that was kind of one of the drawbacks, because that phone in particular was like that. But then, you know, there are phones out there that they will maintain a charge while you have them plugged in, and you can use that as your webcam. If you have a laptop, you could just use the built-in laptop webcam. It won't be great quality, but honestly, the window's pretty small, right? So it's not really needing to be like a 4K quality camera. And if you put enough light on yourself, you can make a really crappy camera look okay. The most important things I would say spend your money on would be some lighting, if anything, you know, and then and make sure your microphone is decent. You could even go without a camera to start. Right? A lot of streamers go without cameras. You can go without a camera to start, and you could do like a little PNG picture, and there's like certain apps you can use that will, every time it sees a sound, it'll switch between the two PNGs so it looks like it's talking. And you could do that for the time being until you get a webcam, and just get yourself like a $30-40 microphone. And then kind of save up the money to buy the better equipment. Like when I started, it was, I first started with my webcam built into my laptop. Then I upgraded to a C720, which was a 720p webcam. And I used that for a while. And I built my lights. I was using a blue Snowball as my microphone, and I had that from before. I didn't buy it for the stream. And then I had a Rock Band microphone to pick up the sound from the video game, because the capture card I had didn't allow me to have sound for me to hear and for the audience to hear. I could only have one or the other. So I used a Rock Band microphone. Okay, I used a Rock Band microphone to pick up the gameplay sound so I could hear it and then everybody else could hear it. Like I went super budget. You can get pretty smart. Yeah, if you've got a laptop camera, you can use that. The quality won't be great, but if you're just starting out, you really don't need top of the line quality. A lot of streamers fall into the trap of thinking, all right, Brian, have yourself a good day. I will be back tomorrow. Yeah. Enjoy work as much as you can. And Preston was asking about slaves. These are my slaves. These are my slaves. Don't ban me. This is for parody purposes. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them all. Look at them all. And down here. Look at them all. And the reason that I have half slabs all over the floor is because of all these villagers. They started spawning a whole bunch of iron golems, so I built a makeshift iron golem farm, which wasn't my plan. I just wanted a villager farm, and then they started spawning a bunch of iron golems inside the house. And so I put a bunch of platforms so the spawning couldn't happen. And then they started spawning out here. And then at that point I was like, I just use them for an iron farm. So I spent hours covering everything so they wouldn't spawn anywhere but in that corner. And then they go down there and die. But yeah, gaming dude, take your time. Don't spend a bunch of money on streaming. Invest on the bare minimum, because something that a lot of streaming gurus won't talk about. But yeah, look, I had everything. I've got just like little random farms just for the aesthetic of it. But I also have my cow farm up there, which then gets me ridiculous amounts of meat, which I've been eating. Shadow Ranger, thank you for that follow. I really appreciate that. Welcome. Thank you. But yeah, I've got my meat farm. I have a little like lava farm. Infinite water just for the sake of it. I had this for fishing, which that guy fell in there. I had my little sugarcane farm. I started planting a whole bunch of jungle trees so I could, you know, get infinite wood. I've got my wheat farm here. Like I did quite a lot of work on this place, but you saw how far I traveled just to get to my stupid mob spawner. Yeah, and then my storage. Nothing too crazy. Oh, that reminds me. Are they in here? They are. This is the one I want. Okay. Yeah, gaming dude. So what I was saying, a lot of content gurus don't talk about this. I'm not saying they all don't. The ones that are friends with me, they definitely talk about it. But a lot of the ones that are out there just using TikTok to grow and use like giving streaming tips as their way of growing, they're not actually trying to help people. They're just trying to use that as a way to get viewers. They won't really address the fact that as a new creator, it can be very disheartening when you start streaming. And not everybody's made to stream, right? Streaming, in the end, it is a job that requires a set type of skills. Streaming is the same as being an actor or a singer. Sure, most people wouldn't mind being a Hollywood star. Most people wouldn't mind being a pop star. Most people couldn't be those things because they either don't have the talent, they don't have the mindset, they don't have the work ethic. And streaming is the same. And with acting and singing and dancing and stuff, football, basketball, all that kind of stuff, there are certain requirements that you either have or you don't, right? Like you can either sing or you can't. You can either dance or you can't. And if you can't dance, you're never going to be a professional dancer, right? If you can't act, you're never going to be a professional actor. But when it comes to streaming, everybody could be a streamer. Everybody has a phone. Everybody can buy a cheap computer and start streaming. So the competition is far higher when it comes to live streaming. And so it relies a lot more on your own skills and ability. So what I'm getting at is a lot of these like guru tip givers will talk about what you need to buy, what you need to do, and they'll never address the fact that if you spend this money, within a year, there's a good chance you won't want to do it anymore. And then you spent all this money, and then you almost force yourself to stay as a streamer, and then you become bitter and toxic, not because you are a bitter person. I'm not talking about you directly, just as a streamer who doesn't succeed. You become bitter yourself, or you just start resenting gaming as a whole because you feel like you have to continue to stream because you spent all this money. So I'm of the mindset of spend as little money as possible, because if you end up hating it and you only spent $200 to set up your stream, at least it was only $200 versus going out and spending $1,500 setting up your stream, and then after a year you realize I hate this, and you can't walk away because $1,500 is a lot of money to walk away from. You know what I mean? Also be prepared to, say that it's not for you, because it's really not for a lot of people. There's a lot more that comes with streaming that people don't really expect. Some people have an idea that streaming is sitting in front of the computer and playing video games. They don't really comprehend how much work goes on behind the scenes. My overlays are rather basic. On Twitch, it's a yellow frame around my camera. I've got a couple of details down there, and then I've got like a thing that appears once in a while showing my Twitch and my YouTube and all that. That little splash that pops up, I spent about 8 hours getting it to look the way that I wanted, because I had to make it from scratch with my own logo and stuff. My overlay look on Twitch, I probably put in a good 3 or 4 hours just to like set it up the way that I want. that's a lot of time for something that nobody's really going to notice. Nobody's really going to look at my overlays and be like, wow, that's so good. It's just, wow, it's aesthetically pleasing. And that's as far as it goes. But I spent 4 or 5 hours doing stuff like that, right? That's the stuff people don't realize. They don't realize how many times you get hate comments or you'll get trolls coming in through your channel, and it can be demoralizing because people will say really mean things or they'll try to make stupid jokes, and it can be really frustrating. You can also have a stream where everything goes perfect and nobody comes. And then you can have a stream where there's a huge crowd and everything goes wrong. What am I doing? Why am I going back in here? And so it very quickly beats you up. And it can really mess with your head. Or you could have like a week of every stream has 30 people watching you, and then all of a sudden you're back down to 3 people watching you and you just can't figure out why. And it can be really hard to deal with. Or you have somebody that can be like a devout follower that loves your content. They become a really good friend, and then they slowly disappear and then you never see them again. And that really sucks. And that's not for everybody. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. It's just those are things that could happen that you may not see. And then all of a sudden you spent all this money to be a streamer only to realize there's a lot of stuff that you're just not willing to deal with, right? So try to spend as little money as possible and just kind of dip your toe in and see what you think. Do it for fun. Don't set goals that you can't control, because I had somebody come in and they're like, well, my goal is to like, you know, stream to an average of 15 people and to get this many subs by the end of the year. And it's like, don't set those, because those are relying on other people doing those things. Set goals for yourself. Like the goals I've set for myself, that I want to stream 4 to 5 times a week, 4 to 5 hours a stream. That's stuff I can control, right? Now, whether that is going to give me 50 subs or 5 subs, that's up to everybody else. But I can control how long I'm streaming, how often I'm streaming, and what games I'm streaming. So those are the goals I'm setting, right? So kind of set those kind of goals for yourself that you can control directly. And then if you don't achieve them, at least you know because you didn't do what you were supposed to, versus not achieving something and then getting bitter at an audience that had no idea that they were responsible for your achievements. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, me too, Girl Thulu. Me too. Fantastic. How you doing, man? How are things going? Yeah, so I don't know if you saw the video, but my dad passed away. And so I'm streaming more for the sake of like trying to jumpstart my life back into normal. Because obviously it's a big impact. It's very much an emotional burden. And so like I'm not really in the right mindset to be doing normal stuff 100%, but I know that life goes on, so I don't want to sit and like be sad and wallow in self-pity forever because my dad passed away. It's kind of I want to mourn, but I also need to start taking steps forward so I can start getting back to normal. And so I've started streaming to kind of help give myself something to do during the day, so I'm not sitting here thinking and being sad. But I'm not in the right mindset to really do anything that requires a lot of dedication. Like right now, I'm lost on Elden Ring completely. And so I know that because of the way that I feel, I would just end up getting frustrated and resenting the game. And I don't want to feel that way. And then I was playing Dead Island, and I don't remember what's happening because I'm not paying attention to the story because I'm just kind of, my brain is overwhelmed. So I figured Minecraft is a good way to kind of balance both. I'm playing a video game and I don't have to pay attention. I've been live for about 2 hours now, and all I've done is cut down a bunch of trees over there, and now I'm just digging a hole. So it's been, I did it for that specific reason, but I'm really liking being able to just kind of talk and not have to think while I'm gaming. So this might become part of the normal layout of the gameplay that I do, because I'm really enjoying just not having to think about it. You know what I mean? And thanks, man. Yeah, it was unexpected and it really sucked, but it is what it is, you know? He was 59, so I think that made it harder, is that he was young, and so like kind of rough, but it's done and over with now. There's nothing I can do about it, right? I'm not saying that like I'm not allowed to feel sad. It's just, it is what it is, you know? Shadow Ranger, hello. You enjoy seeing how people build their bases? So this is my second base. For people that are just popping in now, this is my second base. Well, technically it's my third, because my second is... come out. Let me out. My second is over there somewhere. Where is it? over there. I just built a little tiny house just to kind of have somewhere to stay. I built my first base, but just the way that the world loaded, oh crap, get out of here. The way that the seed worked out, the nearest nether portal or nether fortress that I could find was like over 1,000 blocks away. And it was a real big pain to have to travel so far just to be able to like fix my shovel. And so I decided that I would build this portal that's right by that fortress near my mob spawner so I could fix things. And I decided I would just build a house here. So that way I could still gather resources and everything, get ready for the Ender Dragon, and I wouldn't have to travel super far. I left my other farm. I was just there, actually. I have all my stuff there, so if I do need to travel back, it's there. My villagers are there and everything. But those are things I don't have to experience very often. So I'm building right now just to kind of rebuild a base. And it's nice because I could just kind of shut my brain off and play, you know? Yeah, fantastic tech. It's a nice way to kind of keep myself distracted, you know? Like I said, it'll be 2 weeks. Oh God. I don't know. Everything is melded together. So he died on the 21st in the middle of the night. So it's gonna be 2 weeks on Sunday. It'll be 2 weeks. And so it's still fresh. You know what I mean? And there was a whole bunch of stuff that came along with it that is not the normal death procession. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the person dies, then you got to deal with the funeral, and if there's life insurance, you deal with that, and then like getting rid of all their credit and all that stuff, closing all that stuff off. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. You know, even like we had to cancel his funeral. There was a bunch of stuff that we had to do with the funeral home that was not something that anybody should have to experience. So like there's been a lot that's gone with it. So like it's still really, really early on, and there was a whole bunch more. So it's been a rough time. So this is a really nice outlet to kind of have somebody to talk to. You know, obviously I'm going through a divorce, so I don't really have anybody to talk to in the real world. So it's just been a lot of like sitting in my own turmoil. So this is a really, really nice way to kind of do something that's outside of that. And with Minecraft, I can just literally play. Although today, my freaking computer, my sound's been shutting off every like 15 minutes, and it's my my voice meter banana just keeps freezing. But I think it's my hard drive that's in trouble. Anyways, outside of that, it's been really nice to just kind of do something mindless and not feel like I'm not achieving what I'm supposed to on stream, which has been a really, really nice feeling. I'm kind of glad that I came back to streaming. And that I've given myself permission to kind of slack on the content that I'm doing. I'm gonna start making videos again because I do need to kind of get back to that. Part of my agreement with the hair is that I'm gonna make videos, and I got my hair and like 4 days later my dad passed away, and I've got 30 days to get the video out. So like I need to make that video. It's just hard to motivate myself, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just a lot of the stuff is stuff that I wouldn't want to burden other people with. And I don't mean like, you know, I'm trying not to say it because it's nobody's business. And it would be disrespectful to my dad's memory. But like there's stuff that happened that isn't anything that I can really talk to anybody about. Like my buddy Preston is the one person I've told openly what happened and in detail. But it's stuff that is like, it's legitimately traumatizing. Like it's so hard for me to use that word, and I'm not saying to like belittle other people that use the word. But I mean, we use traumatizing now to cover a huge array of stuff. Like if somebody has their feelings hurt, they will refer to it as being traumatizing. If somebody, you know, has something that brings up a bad memory, they'll call that traumatizing. When like the thing that brought up the memory isn't what was traumatizing, it's the memory that was traumatizing. This is something that like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm warped, and I mean, maybe it's a benefit in this case, but for most people, this would send them to a therapist for like the rest of their life. The stuff that I saw. So it's not exactly something that I could talk to a lot of people about. But like in most relationships you would have your partner to talk to, and I don't have that anymore. So like it's just kind of left me in a spot where like I don't really have anybody to talk to about it, right? Like the only other people that experienced it with me are my brother and my mom, and my brother's the one that's taken the burden of taking care of everything with my dad, so I'm not going to burden him by complaining. And my mom was his wife, so like I don't want to rehash that and make her cry every time. So like I've kind of been forced to not talk about it, which sucks. But it was something that was, it happened, right? It's not like talking about it is going to help, and it's not like there's really anybody to blame for it, right? It's just a bad situation. You know what I mean? A really crappy situation. And it is what it is, you know? You just got to deal with it. But I appreciate it, man. I'm definitely going to be looking into getting distracted and getting back into some kind of normalcy, just so I can have my mind be occupied again. You know, life is full of bumps, and this has been a really bumpy year, but it's not, it's nothing that I can't get over, which is nice. You know, at least it's something that I know is a normal part of life, as far as like losing a parent, that it's going to happen to all of us eventually. Some people, unfortunately, happens to a lot earlier than it happened to me, and some people, lucky for them, it happens way later down the road. But it's inevitable for most people. And so I know I can get over it. I know I will get back to normal. You know, I'm always going to miss my dad. I'm always going to love my dad. I'm always going to have moments where I'm just going to break out and cry because I'm going to miss the guy. But I'm eventually going to get back to normal. And so it's just about jump starting that, right? So I'm going to get back into content creation. I'm going to start doing more videos and stuff. I'm just not quite there yet. I'm definitely going to make a few videos over the next little while. Like I said, I got to do the hair one like immediately. But yeah, it's been really nice to see how supportive the people around me have been. You know what I mean? It's been a really eye-opening experience, like really eye-opening. So it's been nice. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine it. I couldn't even imagine it. The perfect time to start an MMORPG. I've really been looking towards that, Preston. You know, once everything's settled, what we were talking about, the finances and stuff, that might be, because I'll have a little bit of extra money at that point. That might be something I might look into. Now it's about choosing which one, because I got some friends that play ESO, got some friends that play Final Fantasy, and I've got some friends that play WoW. Like Girl Thulu commented earlier, she's a big WoW player. She's a huge WoW player. And so I'm like, I gotta choose what faction I will be a part of, what kind of gang, so we can walk down the street snapping our fingers and fight with each other because our MMORPG is better than your MMORPG. Oh man. Ooh, I haven't heard of Ashes of Creation. I gotta look that up. I've never been one that's been much into MMORPGs. I played a bit of Guild Wars. Out of all of them, that's the one that I played the most. But I used to play with my brother, and then we got into it, and then he was when he was getting married and stuff, so he slowly stopped playing with me. And I struggle making friends, so I never continued because I was playing by myself and it wasn't as fun. Then I bought it for Alana because we were at Staples, and they had it on for $5. So I bought it for Alana, and then we played for a little while together. And then obviously we split up, so we don't play anymore. So I didn't really spend a crazy amount of time with it. But I've always wanted to. It's like D&D. I've always wanted to play D&D, but I don't have anybody around me to play it, and I'm really bad at board games anyway. Not that it's a board game, but you know, that kind of gameplay, I'm not really good at it. So I've never got into it, but I want to. But I definitely want to get into MMORPGs. They seem so much fun. It's ambitious. I'm gonna have to look it up. I love it. The Lord of the Rings MMO. There's so many MMOs out there. I definitely want to get into it. Okay, I have to go pick up Nora. It's 2:30. She's done school at 2:45, and I have to go get her. I think tomorrow when I'm live, I might continue with this, because it was really fun to just play and have my brain shut off and just, you know, just talk and build stuff. Tomorrow, I think I'm gonna. What do I want to build tomorrow? I think maybe tomorrow I'll build another wheat farm in this area, and maybe I'll do like the automatic meat farm with like the cows and stuff. Maybe I'll do something like that. Or maybe I'll do a cactus farm. I don't know. We'll work on some farms tomorrow. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. But yeah, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go pick up Nora. Faulty Clips, hello. You're joining us right at the end. I'm gonna be live tomorrow though. I've been live now for a little bit over 2 hours, so whatever time it is now, 2 hours earlier than now is when I'll be live tomorrow. And I will continue with some Minecraft because I really, it's perfect for what I'm kind of, the mindset that I'm in right now. I'm really enjoying it. Oh, you're watching for a good hour? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I hope you were, like, I hope that it was good background noise. Do you know what I mean? Like that it was just able to kind of have that chill out vibes feeling. Cause I do that all the time. I do it all the time. Like Ryu Car is my big chill out channel that I watch. I watch him all the time. I just kind of have him going while I'm playing or doing whatever I'm doing. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it some more. Faulty Clips. I think I'm going to do it some more. I will, Weeman. I'll tell her hi. I will, Nikki. I will. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go pick her up. I'll be back tomorrow with some more Minecraft. I really had fun with this. It was nice. And then yeah, maybe I'll like start coming up with random goals. Like maybe we'll go and explore, not for tomorrow, but like down the line we'll explore like one of the water temple things. Or we'll go look for like a forest mansion. I gotta fight the Ender Dragon. I gotta get an Elytra or Elytra, however you say it. So there's a few things we can kind of set goals for to do on stream. So today was just more about clearing out the space, which helped a lot. I was able to clear quite a bit. So maybe tomorrow I'll knock down a bunch of the dirt and start building some farms and kind of do that. Faulty Clips, I don't really like playing with other players on stream unless it's something that's really like planned out ahead of time, and it's usually only with other streamers. I used to play with viewers, and then it just kind of, it became not dangerous, but like some of them would come in to just grief, and some of them would come in and they were trying to be helpful, but they would kind of like jump ahead and do a bunch of stuff without me because they were, you know, not in Minecraft, but like in other games they've been more leveled up or whatever, or have better equipment, and it kind of just messes with the stream. So I prefer just kind of playing on my own. Maybe eventually I'll make a realm or something that we can all play on if this becomes a really big part of the channel. But for the time being, I'm just kind of, I want to just kind of do it on my own. I don't really want to interact with other people. You know, if you've been listening for a while, you heard me talk about how my dad passed away, and I'm kind of not in the best state to really be collabing or any like high intensity content right now. But I'll keep you in mind. You know, stick around and hang out, and then yeah, maybe in the future we could do something together for sure. All right, everybody. I will see you later. All right, Preston. Thanks for hanging out, man. See you later, Merle. Take care, everybody. I got to get out of here. I really got to go pick up Nora, or else I'm going to be super late. All right, everybody. Take care, and thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Where is TikTok? Okay, TikTok stream. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye. And there we go. And Twitch and YouTube, thank you all for hanging out. I will see you tomorrow on the same time for some more Minecraft. I just want something like really laid back. All right, everybody.